Go ahead.
So good morning, everyone. Today I'm gonna start with a presentation for cyber security. This is gonna be focused on installing Linux on an Oracle virtual machine, and I would like to start with a little bit of information about uh, Oracle, and then Oracle was founded on 1977. The first name was um, Software Development Laboratories, SDL. An Oracle virtual machine was released on October uh, 2007. Um, was created to provide virtualization solutions with the purpose to run multiple virtualization environment on a single machine, increasing efficiency, flexibility, and scalability. And also, I want to talk a little bit about Kali Linux. As you can see, is distribution based on Debian, and eh, is designed especially for penetration testing, ethical hacking, and digital forensics. It was released on March 13 of the year 2013. It is maintained by Offensive Security and comes with over 600 pre-installed tools for vulnerabilities assessments, exploitation, and forensics, and is highly customizable to suit individual attack environments, can be booted from a USB, leaving no trace of the target system, and is free to use, inspect, and modify. Because these are installing Linux, like Linux and Oracle virtual machine are open source software. So first, I want to go over the steps to install, to download and install those softwares on your computer, so you can have it on on a system, on a different system, or different to your host system. So the first thing that we're gonna do to do this is it will be to go to the website of Kali and get Kali, and then just for you all to know, first I'm gonna do the presentation, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it as a demonstration. So first you go to the website, you click on Get Kali, and then next you scroll down to install to installer image section. Click in the arrow pointing down, and then select the folder where you want the image to be stored. Then we're gonna go to downloading Oracle free VirtualBox. First, you go to the VirtualBox website, and then click on Download System. Then next, you select the operation system you are currently using. In this case, Windows, and then you're gonna select a folder when File Explorer pops up. Then next, we're gonna we're gonna install the VirtualBox. So you only have to double click on the executable file, and then click next, and then you will be greeted with the custom setup screen. Um, you're gonna need to accept license agreements and click next. Click next when prompt to custom setup, and then installing VirtualBox. Click yes in the next two steps, and then install. When installation is complete, click finish, and application will open automatically. So now we're gonna start setting up the virtual machine. The first step is to click on new, and then this open the create virtual machine dialog, and then you just give your machine a name, select the ISO image previously downloaded. For type file, select Linux. Subtype, choose Debian, and version is gonna be Debian 64 bits. Next, setting up the virtual machine, expand hardware tab, and assign RAM to the virtual machine. The advice is not to assign more than 25% of the total system. And then expand hardware tab and assign hard disk and click finish. Like if it's the first time you are using it, it would be recommended to assign 25 gigabytes. Setting up Kali, we're gonna select the virtual machine that we just created and click start. Then select graphical install. Next, select the language, location, and keyboard. Next, it will be to enter a name for your host. When asked for a domain name, leave it blank, click continue. Enter a username and follow the steps for creating a password. You're gonna select the time zone. You're gonna select guided use entire disk, and then after this, which I will ask for confirmation, click continue. Select all files in one partition and click continue. Select finish and write changes to this and click continue. Okay. When asking about, again, it's gonna ask you about partitions. You will click yes. And then when setting up the Kali, leave the default checkboxes selected and click continue, and the operation system will start studying. And this is what is gonna take longer. This may take like 20 minutes. And then next, select yes and click continue. Select enter device manually and click continue. And finally, we're gonna type down /div/sda. And then when we continue, you're gonna be able to log into the system. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the demonstration. So the first thing I'm gonna do is that I will send you the links to the chat. I'm gonna send you the links to the chat so you can go first for Kali, and then we're gonna download Kali.
Okay, Anderson, we probably don't need to all be doing it because, while I'm doing this, I'm not going to be typing this or whatever. So presume that the people are doing it, but let's keep rolling because, like you said, if it takes a long time, we don't need to just sit and wait. Continue.
Well, what I'm trying to do, like the thing is gonna take longer. It would be the installation, like the computer installation. That's gonna take longer, but I just want to guide you through on how to get in the website. Okay, how to get and download it on this in the website. So when you go to the Linux webpage, you're gonna go where it says Kali, and then you're gonna scroll down to installer image. When installer image, you're gonna see you're gonna have different options to install an ISO image, but the one that works for me, it was this. So you have to you only click over here on this arrow pointing down, and then you're gonna have it, and then it's gonna start downloading. This may take like this is gonna be really quick, so you don't have to worry that much about how long it's gonna take. I already downloaded, so I don't gonna do it again. Next, you can open the virtual machine link I sent to you on the chat, and then you're gonna click where it says download. When you click where it says download, go to Windows host, and then um, the the VirtualBox is gonna start downloading. So next, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna open the download the executable file, and then we're gonna open it. So now give permissions, and then this is the wizard that is gonna come out on how to start the setup. Next, then we're gonna start installing the VirtualBox. This is gonna be really quick. And then when we finish installing Oracle Virtual Machine Box, you can leave selected start Oracle VirtualBox after installations. So it's gonna open automatically. You just click finish, and then over here is where you're gonna see the virtual machine application, and the only thing you have to do is to create a new one. Okay, let's go back to yes, we're just gonna click on create new, and then you're just gonna give a name to the virtual to this virtual machine you're gonna create. So we're just gonna create um we're just gonna create any one for as example cyber class, and then you're gonna select a folder where this virtual machine is gonna be stored at. This is the folder, and the ISO image, when they ask you about the ISO image, is gonna be like the Linux that the Linux image that we downloaded from Kali Linux. So I already have it here. You just select
it. That's the ISO, correct?
Can you repeat that, please?
That's the ISO file.
That's the ISO. When ISO image, that's gonna be like the distribution, in this case Linux. So it's very important that we select Linux, and because Kali is a distribution based on Debian, we're gonna have to select a subtype Debian, and then select Debian 64 bits. Of course, if you are working with a machine that is 32 bits, you gonna select that, and have in mind that when you're downloading the ISO or when downloading the VirtualBox, it's gonna always be the option to 64 bits and 32 bits. But nowadays, I believe most of the systems they have 64 bits. So next, we're gonna expand the tab that says hardware, and then over here is where we're gonna install we're gonna assign and allocate RAM to the virtual machine. So remember that as long as we're gonna be working with two separated systems, we have to leave good RAM for enough RAM for the whole system to process everything and have enough space. We're just gonna assign on processor, and then for hard disk, we expand the type of hard disk, and then we're gonna assign 25 gigabytes, and that's it. We just click on finish, and then we have installed. We just need to click on the virtual machine we created and click on start.
While this is working, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I
Go ahead,
think I
please.
know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Um, why would someone choose VirtualBox versus the Windows Sandbox that comes in the Windows Pro, um, Windows 10 Pro, Windows 11 Pro? Do you know why people would choose VirtualBox instead? I have an answer, but do you know?
Um, I would say that that depends if you have the operation system, but besides that, I don't have any answer.
Yeah, you're correct. If you're running like Windows 11 Home, you
Yeah,
don't have access to the sandbox.
exactly.
Also, and I'm using my system, which is a Lenovo, as an example, my system will not support hardware virtualization. This VirtualBox is software virtualization. So even if I did upgrade to Windows 11 Pro on my home computer, I still couldn't run the Windows Sandbox because my CPU and architecture won't support hardware virtualization. So VirtualBox is my only option, or another software virtual machine, but VirtualBox is free.
Yeah, that's the good thing of the open source software. So you can use it, and then you could modify it as the needs that you have for your company or for yourself, like on the project you are working. It can be more flexible. And then thank you very much, Corey. I'm gonna continue with the installation of the virtual machine. So we just click on start, and then we're gonna see blue screen that comes with different options. We're gonna click on the first one that says graphical install. We're just gonna click there. We're gonna select that one. And then next, we're gonna select the language, location, and and to configure the keyboard. So this case is American English. Continue. This is gonna take probably 40 seconds. It's not gonna take too long. So next, we're just gonna enter a host name. In this case, it could be host host one, and then continue. For the domain, we don't actually need to. We can leave this on blank. So we're just gonna leave it on blank and then click on continue. And then here's where we're gonna set up a username and a password. So um, which is gonna assign cyber T. Then we're gonna click continue, continue once again, and then we're gonna create a password. So you just create a password that works for you, and just have into account that this is only a demonstration, but the longer the password, the more safe you're gonna be.
Now, another clarification here, Anderson. This is actually the second account being created in this VM for Kali, correct?
Like
The
on this exercise.
Well, the first was the root user, and this one is for the non-root user, correct? This would be the person who is working the tools, not necessarily the person who is doing administrative work at the VM level, the actual distribution level. This, I'm just sharing, this is the concept called separation of duties or segregation of duties. The root admin should not be the person that's out there doing work on the internet. The internet account should not have root level access in case it gets compromised in any way. So you're watching this live, but there was the root user, which you created, and now this is the user that is non-root who will be using the tools. Okay, very important security concept there. It's part of what's called defense in depth, or DID, or layered defense, if you want to look it up in your study guides. But go ahead, Anderson. Thank you.
You are correct, Scotty. The best is always recommendable to be working not with the admin user, just like with a different user, but when you need to start something, you will change it to the root user. So we're just gonna click on continue. Thank you very much for your advice. And then it looks like I have a typo, so I'm gonna type it again. Then click continue, and then you're gonna select the time clock, continue, and then this is gonna take like minute over here. So I want to look for the slide where we select. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna click on guided use entire disk, continue, continue, and then on this case we're gonna select all files on one partition. It's recommended for new users, so that's what we're gonna do in this case. Just gonna click continue, and then finish partition and write changes to the disk, continue, and it's asks you a last time for confirmation. So the next thing that's gonna happen is that it's gonna ask you for selecting all those fields, like those come checked by default. So you just leave them as it is, and then you click continue, and then after that, this is what's gonna take like 20 minutes to install the operation system. So you will just click on continue, and then when you finish, you just click yes to install the group bootloader, and then it's very important that you click on this on this screen that is gonna pop up, enter device manually, because otherwise it's not gonna work. Next, you're gonna have to type. You must type um, you must type slash dev/SDA. It's very important that you type it down, because otherwise it's not gonna work either. I have tried and it didn't work for me. So that's my advice to do, like type it down. And
Excellent.
then after that, like you're gonna be welcome with login screen for Kali, where you gonna have the option to type down the user and the password that you created. So on this step, when you get to this, you have installed Kali Linux on Oracle virtual machine, and um, it has been presented by Anderson Patino. I am a cybersecurity student. This is my contact information, and those are the reference that I use for images and um, information on how to install Kali on virtual machine.
Excellent.
And that's it. Like this was what I was talking about. Like this is the um, the display that you're gonna see before the installation. So now it's gonna take like up like 20 minutes to my system to get installed. So now I'm gonna give you the I'm gonna thanks to you for listening to me and having me on this space. I appreciate any review or comments you may have. Thank you.
Very good, Anderson. Anybody have any comments? Observations? Everybody's so quiet. Well, there's one comment that I have to make as we were going through my mind, because I don't think virtually. As we were doing the install, at one point it said full disk. In other words, install on the full disk. My mind went, oh, I don't want to fill my whole hard drive, but it's not on your hard drive anymore. It's inside the VM, which is that 25 gig that Anderson allocated. So when you say full disk, it means the full 25 gigs, not my entire hard drive. So this is being installed inside the VM. So only the confines in the VM apply. Again, when you were clicking on it, Anderson, it said full disk, and I was like, really? But yes, it's correct. The full disk meant the 25 gigs that have been partitioned.
Oh yeah, because like at this point we are into like the new system that has been allocated like the 25 gigabytes. So it's really interesting your comment, because we may think like, or am I allocating the full hard disk I have on my physical computer? So no, that's the difference. That's where it comes the virtualization, because it will be like you assign virtual space. It will be it wouldn't be like the full site that you have physically, and like this is why virtualization is a great option, because it allows you to escalate and be more flexible when working with different systems and um, and different environments. So thank you very much, Scott.
Sure. One other question. I think you know the answer to this, Anderson. Is there a limit to the number of virtual machines that you can have available to launch within VirtualBox? I'm asking for a reason. You probably installed one already, and this was probably your second. So does that create a problem?
No, it doesn't create a problem as long as your hardware keeps up with the virtual machine that you create. But it's true what you are saying. Like you can create a virtual machine to work on one environment. On Linux, let's say you are working with Kali distribution, but then you can create a different virtual machine that you're gonna use Linux Ubuntu, or you can install Windows again on that one, or a different operation system. So that's the flexibility that you have to work on different environments, different operation systems, and also these options or this virtual machine, this technology allows you um, to don't put on risk your own system when you're working on with within the internet or or things that may compromise your personal things or your private information, private data.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you so much, Anderson. Everybody, congratulations, Anderson. Great stuff. Chris, Twyla, any observations or comments? We're getting near our last few minutes. Twyla?
That was good, Norman. It was very good. That was my second time seeing it being installed. I seen it get installed through the box through. With my teacher, they did the same thing. But yours are pretty simple too, easy to follow. It ain't that hard to download the Linux.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I tried to do it like easy. Like to be honest, when I was doing it, investigating on my own how to do it, it took me some time because like to find the correct ISO image and to see where to download the VirtualBox. It may take a little bit on your own, but that's why I am doing this demonstration to make it easy for anyone that wants to follow or is interested on using this operation system, which which is really interesting if you are into the penetration testing topic.
Yeah, that was very good. Thank you, Norman. I'll call you Anderson. I'm sorry, I'll call you Roman.
I heard that.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Chris, anything? Any comments?
No, that was a good presentation, Anderson.
Yeah.
Really good job.
I liked it. And it was well done. You could take this to any group and do the exact same thing. So it's ready to roll. At some point, instead of putting your cybersecurity student, you might also put that you're a cybersecurity mentee.
Okay, I will have that into account. I will do it because this is something that I didn't do the first time, and it was like the feedback that Chris gave me, like, oh, just you should put like your information, your contact.
Yep.
And then I also had like the references of the content that I use, so I am respecting like the the content of other people and where I am taking the information from, so everyone can go to the main source where I took the images and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very important in academic circles that it's called citing, C-I-T-E, cite your sources. Where'd this information come from? It's always valuable, and in fact, if you are doing something at the master's level, the graduate level, and you do not cite your sources, your paper or your submission will be graded an F. So yes, citing your sources is absolutely important because this is not original. These aren't things that you thought up. You gathered them from other people and put them together into a nice cohesive format, but you need to give credit to those people that helped you come up with the format and the content. So yeah, always remember that in school.
Just a comment. I sent the presentation to the chat. If anyone wants to download it and then follow the process, it's gonna be available for you right there in the chat.
Superb. Great stuff, Anderson. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Does anybody have any last minute discussion or comment or inputs? How much are you in school, Anderson?
School is going good. I just finished a class like 8 days ago, something like that. And well, I am trying. I haven't I did the exam for the CompTIA A plus last year, like on November, but I didn't pass it, so I am coming back to that, and I'm gonna try to do this to present. No, I'll present the exam again this month on February.
Excellent.
And I have a question for you, Scotty. What about the review we were working for the for this document that was released?
Right. Okay, you stop sharing your screen. I will share mine, and we will show this off. And I'll put this down in the chat. Here's the link for our citation. Everyone should, thank you, Anderson, for reminding me. Everyone should copy this link. And we need to put together a description that we can put into our, oops, I'm hearing myself, Anderson. A description that we put into our resumes that says we did this. When I think about it, it's kind of easy for me to just sort of bring words together, but I think it's helpful that we all put this together. We, as a group, conferred and evaluated the draft National Cyber Incident Response Plan, NCIRP, and provided public comment. The interesting thing that we did that I think is very unique is that we provided it from an individual and small group perspective. So that kind of forms the framework for what we should be able to describe in our resumes. Also, it's important for you, if you're going to put this, here are all the people that participated. And I noticed that Anderson, you're on there, Twyla, you're on there, Chris, you're on there, and I'm on there. So it's important that you also be able to speak to this. So do yourself a favor. If you put this in your resume, go back and read this so that people, if somebody asks, what did you put in there, you can describe it. We basically, as a group, found that the national plan was focused on the service providers and the service security providers rather than the consumers, rather than the clients. And so what we focused on was how a national plan could be more helpful for consumers as well as service providers. Does that make sense, everybody? And again, when you get into your interview, they're going to ask you about this. It's really important that you have practiced this. The right answer is not going to be, well, my mentor told me to put it in my resume. If you participated, you should be able to speak to this. All right? That's why I keep repeating some of these things. You should be repeating this to yourself before you get into your interview. I hope that makes sense. We also, and I thought this was pretty superb, Samuel and Kate actually provided some recommendations for exactly how this plan could be changed and modified to allow for input from the customers, from the consumers themselves. So that's helpful too. And, you know, nobody's going to talk much longer than that. They're going to ask you, you know, what was this? Well, it's the Department of Homeland Security's draft for a national cyber incident response plan. And once it's put in place, everyone is either going to be encouraged or required to follow it. That's all you need to know about it, but you need to be able to say that. Again, this is something you should own. You should feel proud about what you've done in here, and you should be able to speak to it so that others will understand what you did. Chris, any thoughts? Okay. This was, honestly, I knew that what we were going to do in this National Cyber Incident Response Plan, get used to saying that word, National Cyber Incident Response Plan, that we were going to provide a minor suggestion. We weren't going to change the world, but this provided us an opportunity to recognize that we do indeed have input into what goes on at the national level. Our comment, I think we were number 42 or 43 comments. Ours was number 42 or 43 submitted. So it's a great thing to be able to say, we did this. And if you didn't do it, it's too late. This was a one-time thing. Well, you can provide your own inputs. There is like it says here, it's not up here, but there is still time to present public comment before this closes. And after it closes, Homeland Security and the CISA are going to sit down and evaluate all of these and say, do these make sense? Will these improve what we've done? Should we modify this plan based on inputs from other people that have read it? That's what public comment's for. Then, once they make all their changes, they're going to publish this as a final plan. I'm going to really look forward to when they publish the final plan to see if any of these things that we suggested get added. To me, that would be, oh, so cool. You know, maybe it was us that gave them the idea to make it better by including some of our suggestions. And these suggestions were from Kate and Samuel. They weren't from me. So I'm just like, you go, guys. This was super stuff. All right? That's all I have, everybody. Again, Anderson, thank you so much for your presentation. Very helpful. Lots of fun. And if any of us are planning on doing any work in the pen testing, red teaming, blue teaming environment, it's very important to understand what Kali Linux is, what it contains, and how it works, and how to use it safely. And Anderson showed us that. Okay? All right, everybody, I'm going to turn off the recording. I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday, and we'll catch each other later.
Thank